Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 39. This is a recording of a lecture given by Srila Prabhupada in Los Angeles in 1973. We request all of you to kick up your volumes for the listening devices. Sometimes the recording volume is low. That's all. So without further ado, we'll start the class. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Neyam Shobhishyate Tatra Yata Idanim Godadhar Tvat Padaya Ankita Bhati Swalakshana Vilakshitai Neyam Shobhishyate Tatra Yate Danim Godadhara Tvatpadairan Kita Bhati Swalakshana Vilakshitai Neyam Shobhishyate Tatra Yate Danim Godadhara Tvatpadairan Kita Bhati Swalakshana Vilakshitai Neyam Shobhishyate Tatra Yate Danim Godadhara Tvatpadairan Kita Bhati Swalakshana Vilakshitai
Neyam Shobhishyate Tatra Dhanim Gadadhara
Na Not Iyam, this land of our kingdom. Shobhishyate, will appear as beautiful. Tatra, then, yata, as it is now. Idanim, now. Godadhara, O Krishna. Tvat, your. Podai, by the feet. Ankita, marked. Mpati, is dazzling. Swalakshana, your own marks. Vilakshitai, by the impressions. Translation. O Gadadhara, Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so.
So, in the Chanakya sloka, there is a very nice verse. Sarvari bhushanang chandra, prithivi bhushanang raja, narinang bhushanang pati, vidya sarvasya bhushanam. Everything looks beautiful when one is related with something in very intimate relation. Just like at night, the sky becomes beautiful when there is moon. Everyone can understand. The sky is there. Vast sky at night. But on the full moon night, when the moon is there and the stars are there brilliantly, it looks very nice. Similarly, the state looks very nice if there is good government, good king, good president. Then everyone is happy, everything going on nicely. Similarly, narinang bhujanang pati, a girl looks very beautiful. Girls are naturally beautiful, but she looks very beautiful when she has got a husband. Narinang bhujanang pati. And vidya sarvasya bhushanam. But if a person, however ugly he may be, if he is learned scholar, that is his beauty. Similarly, there are kokilanang saru rupang, nari rupang patibratam, these are there. Similarly, everything will look very beautiful when Krishna is there. When Krishna is there. So, Kunti Devi is thinking that when Krishna will be absent, this kingdom will not be beautiful. So long Krishna is with us, we Pandavas, our kingdom, Hastinapur, everything beautiful. It is said, Tatpadai Rankita Bhati. Krishna, you are now in our kingdom, you are walking, so by the impression of your footprints, everything is beautiful. There is sufficient supply of food, fruits, water, everything looks beautiful. But when you leave us, then it will not look beautiful. That is being described. Niyang sobhishyate, sobhishyate. It will not look beautiful. So it is not only applicable when Krishna was present and Kunti was speaking. It is not that the truth was there. It is always. With the advancement of our civilization, if we cannot bring Krishna in the center, Krishna consciousness, then it will never become beautiful. This is the philosophy. You bring Krishna consciousness, practically anyone can appreciate that you are all boys and girls. When you are outside this Krishna consciousness, just think over, your beauty was there. But at the present moment, because you are in Krishna consciousness, you look very, very beautiful. That's a fact, nobody can deny. You compare with other boys and girls, and the boys and girls here, anyone, in your country, they have given you the name bright-faced. Do you know? The newspaper. Yes. In Philadelphia, one lady was inquiring that, are you Americans? Perhaps you know all this. So, actually, your countrymen, those who are sober, they are seeing that how these boys and girls are becoming so nice, jolly, beautiful. Because at the present moment in your country, all young generation, mostly they are confused, hopeless. We see every day. Morose, black-faced. Why? Because they are missing the point. There is no aim of life. But these devotees, Krishnaites, they look so beautiful. Why? Because Krishna is there. That's all. It is a fact. Any sane man will admit. So, what is fact now? What was fact before, during 5,000 years ago, when Pandavas were there? That Krishna in the center, everything becomes beautiful. That can be done at any time. Krishna is always there. Simply, you have to invite him. My Lord, please come and be in the center. That's all. Everything will be beautiful. The same example sometimes, as I give you, that there are zero has no value. But you bring one by the side of zero, it becomes 10 times beautiful, immediately. So, our point is that you do whatever you are doing, we don't stop you. We never say that stop everything of material, but we have to stop anything which is against Krishna consciousness. Because we do not stop, it doesn't mean that we shall not stop meat eating. We must stop. This is against advancement in Krishna consciousness. You cannot commit sinful activities. Krishna says, Aham tvang sarva papibha mokhvishami. Krishna says that you surrender unto me and I shall rescue you, make you liberated from all kinds of sinful reactions. Every one of us, life after life, we are committing sinful activities. Knowingly or unknowingly. Knowingly, I may kill one animal, that is sinful, certainly. Even we do it unknowingly, that is also sinful. Just like while we are walking on the street, We are killing so many ants unknowingly. So, in our ordinary dealings, while cooking, while taking water, while using pestle and mortar for smashing spices, we are killing so many animals. So unless we remain Krishna conscious, we are liable to be punished for all these unknowingly committing sinful activities. Knowingly, of course, you will be, that's a fact. Unknowingly. Knowingly or unknowingly, just like fire. A child unknowingly touches the fire. Does it mean the fire will excuse the child? No. The nature's law is so strict, so stringent, that there is no question of excuse. In the ordinary law also, ignorance is no excuse for legal obligation. If you go to the court and if you say, "My lord, I did not know that the result of this action is this, criminal," that is not pleading that you will be excused. So, therefore, Krishna consciousness must be there. If we actually want to be free from the reaction of sinful life that we are doing, knowingly, unknowingly, then Krishna consciousness must be there. Krishna says, "Aham tvang sarva papebhyo mokshaami." Therefore it is recommended, kirtaniya sadahari. Always we have to be engaged in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So that Krishna will save us. Knowingly, we cannot commit any sinful activities. That is one thing. Unknowingly also, we cannot do it. Then we will be liable. Therefore, if you remain in Krishna consciousness, if you always keep Krishna within your mind, then just like when the sun is there, there cannot be any darkness. Similarly, if you keep Krishna Surya, the Krishna sun, that is our motto in the Back to Godhead, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Andhakar. Krishna is just like brilliant sunshine, and the Maya, ignorance, is just like darkness. But when or while or where the sun is there, there cannot be any darkness. Similarly, you keep Krishna in consciousness always, there cannot be any ignorance, there cannot be any darkness. You will be walking very freely in bright sunshine of Krishna. Don't try to make Krishna absent. That is Kunti's prayer. My dear Krishna, we are going to Dwarka. This is an example. They are not going. Krishna is not going from the Pandavas. Just like in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, when Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, so in this Shastra it is said, Vrindavanam parityajya na padamekam gacchati. Krishna does not go even one step from Vrindavan. He doesn't go. He is so much attached to Vrindavan. Then we see that Krishna left Vrindavan, went to Mathura. So how is that? He went so far away and did not return for many years. No. Krishna actually did not leave Vrindavan. Because since Krishna left Vrindavan, all the inhabitants of Gopi, they are simply thinking of Krishna and crying. That's all. That was their business. Mother Jasoda, Nanda Maharaj, Radharani, all the Gopis, all the cows, all the calves, all the cowherd boys, their only business was to think of Krishna and cry. Absence, separation. The Krishna can be felt, Krishna can be present more acutely in separation. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. To love Krishna in separation. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in separation, Govinda Virahinami. Sunnaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahinami. You are thinking that everything is vacant without Govinda, without Krishna. So everything is vacant, but Krishna consciousness is there. Krishna consciousness is there. So that is the highest perfection. When we'll see everything is nothing, simply Krishna consciousness is the asset. That is the gopis. Therefore gopis are so exalted. Not for a single moment they could forget Krishna. Not for a single moment. Krishna was going in the forest with his cows and calves, and gopis at home, they were disturbed in the mind. Oh, Krishna is walking barefooted. There were so many stones and nails. There is pricking Krishna's lotus feet, which is so soft that we think our breast as hard when Krishna puts his lotus feet. Still, he is walking. They are absorbed in this thought. And they are crying. So they are so anxious to see Krishna back home in the evening that they are standing on the way, on the roof. Now Krishna is coming back with this. This is Krishna consciousness. This is Krishna cannot be absent from a devotee when he is too much absorbed in Krishna thought. This is the process of Krishna consciousness. So here Kunti Devi is very much anxious that Krishna will be absent. But the effect will be, when Krishna will be absent physically, he will be more, accurately be present within the mind of the devotee. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching is that Vipralamba Seva, by his practical life, he is finding out Krishna. Govinda Virahina me, Sunnaitam Jagat Sarvam, Govinda Virahina me. What is that verse? Chakshusha Pravishayitam. Chakshusha Pravishayitam, Sunnaitam Jagat Sarvam, Govinda Virahina me. He's crying like torrents of rain coming out of the eyes, and he's feeling everything vacant for want of Krishna, separation, vipralamba. So, Sambhog and vipralamba. There are two stages of meeting Krishna. Sambhog means when he is personally present. That is called Sambhog. Personally talking, personally meeting, personally embracing, that is called Sambhog. And there is another, Vipralamba. The two ways a devotee can be benefited. At the present moment, when we are in this material world, we do not see directly Krishna. We see Krishna, just like I was explaining in the sea beach. We see Krishna indirectly. Just like if you see the Pacific Ocean, you can remember in Krishna immediately if you are advanced. How you can remember Krishna? You can think of, that is called meditation, not some rascaldom. This is meditation. Now, you can think of the Pacific Ocean, just such a vast mass of water, and so many big, big waves. I am standing a few words from it, but I am safe. I am safe because I am confident that this ocean, however powerful it may be, however its waves are very fearful, I am sure it will not come up to this. How it is happening? Jasagya, by the order of Krishna. Krishna has ordered, my dear Pacific Ocean, you may be very big and powerful, but you cannot come beyond this line. You can remember immediately Krishna, God. Oh, God is so powerful that in this Pacific Ocean is abiding the order, obeying the order of Krishna. In this way you can think of Krishna, that is Krishna consciousness. That is Krishna consciousness. You see the sunrise, immediately you can remember Krishna. If you have read Bhagavad Gita, it is stated there, Prabhasmi Shashisujaya. I am the shining of the sun, I am the shining of the moon. So, if you have learned how to see Krishna, you can see in the sunshine Krishna. You have not created the sunshine, you have not created the sun, you so-called scientists. You can talk all jugglery of words only, but it is beyond your capacity to know what is the sun. It is beyond your capacity. You cannot know. But you can know. Shastra Jonityad, Vedanta Sutra says, through the Shastra. Just like in the Brahma Samhita, about the sun, it is stated, Jatchakshuri sasavita sagala grahanang raja samasta suramurti asi sutija jasagya brahmati sanghvrita kala chakro govindamadi purusham tamahang bhajami. Now we study this Vedic literature. What is the sun? The sun is described as the eyes of all the planets. Now you think about it, meditate. Yes, it is a fact. Because unless there is sunrise, then you cannot see at night. That's not possible. And what is the sun? Sun is the eyes of the Lord. This is moon is one eye and the sun is one eye. And in the Upanishad it is said, when Krishna sees, then you can see. When Krishna sees, so Krishna is seeing with his eyes the sun, then you can see. This is fact. You cannot see anything if Krishna does not see. So you think about the sun. Then what is the sun? Now, it is the king of all planets. Raja. Raja means king. Samasta Suramurti. And what is the nature? Asesa Teja. Unlimitedly hot. Unlimitedly. Asesa Teja. Then what is his function? Jasagya Brahmati Sanghvrita Kala Chakro. Sun has got his orbit. So God has ordered that you just travel within this orbit. Not here, not there. The scientist says that if the sun is moved a little this side, the whole universe will be ablaze. And if it moves this side, the whole universe will be frozen. But by the order of the Supreme, it is neither going even 1/10,000th part of an inch this side or this side. exactly in the line. Exactly during, in the time, fixed time, at 5:30, it must rise. So there must be some discipline, there must be some obedience, there is some order. In this way, the Shastra says, Jasagya Brahmati Sangrita Kala Chakro, by whose order the sun is moving in the orbit, Govindamadi Purusam Tamahang Bhajami. I worship that original person who is giving direction even to the sun, even to the ocean, even to the moon. Everything is going on under his order. Where is the difficulty to understand God? There is no difficulty. If actually one is sane man, if he has got some brain substance, not stool substance, then he can understand God in every step, every step. Every step. Rasohang apsukamanteya prabhasmi sasisuja sabdakhe. Everything is explained there. Why they speak lies that I have not seen God? Why don't you see God as God directs you to see? Why do you manufacture your own way? You cannot see God by your own way. That is not possible. Then you will remain always blind. That is happening at the present moment. The so-called philosophers and scientists, they are trying to see God in their own way. And it is being supported by rascals that you can find out in your own way to see God. That is not possible. You cannot see God in your own way. You have to see God by God's way. Then you can see. It is not possible to see God in your what you are. Just like if I want to see President Nixon, can I see him in my own way? Then how you can expect to see God in your own way? Is it not rascaldom? I cannot see even an ordinary man in big position in my own way. I have to apply, I have to take the sanction of the secretary, appoint some time, and so on, so on. And I am expecting to see God in my own way. And these rascals are supporting this view that you can see God in your own way. As many ways you invent, they are all bona fide. This is rascaldom. So, the world is full of rascals and fools. Therefore, God consciousness, Krishna consciousness has become a fake idea. Otherwise, if one wants to see God, as Kunti Devi is requesting, that you remain always there, one can keep God always within his heart. He is always there. Therefore, we have to apply, as it was done by Maharaj Ambarish, Savai mana Krishna padaravindayo vachangsi vaikuntha gunanuvarnane. We can use our senses in Krishna consciousness. First thing is that we have to fix up our mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Then mind is the center of all sensual activities. If your mind is absent, in spite of having your eyes you cannot see, in spite of having your ears you cannot hear. Therefore, mind is considered the 11th sense. There are 10 senses, 5 working and 5 knowledge acquiring. And the mind is the center. So, Indriyani Pararahu, everything is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Indriyani Pararahu, Indriyabha Paramana. Krishna is explaining that we take these senses as very prominent. But beyond these senses, there is another superior thing, there is mind. Beyond this mind, there is intelligence. And beyond this intelligence, there is soul. So how they can appreciate existence of soul if they cannot understand the psychological movement of the mind? Behind that mind there is intelligence. Utmost they can approach to the intellectual platform. But one has to go beyond the intellectual platform to understand what is soul or what is God. Otherwise it is not possible. So, everything is there, but we have to understand through the right channel. Therefore Vedic information is tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva avigacchit samit pani srutriyam brahmanistam. This is Vedic injunction. That if you actually serious about understanding that supernatural, transcendental subject matter, you must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So many analogies they gave in the beginning, so many that he again connected to Krishna, how we can see Krishna, what we have to do to see Krishna. We are in this material world, so we can only see Krishna indirectly. Many points that he brought up. So, dear devotees, this is the time to unmute yourself and join in the conversation with Krishna Katha based on this lecture. Whatever you feel that was very important to you or hit you right in the center of your heart that you want to share, that's your takeaway. Please unmute yourself and share that. Or if you want to ask a question, by the Lord's mercy, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, and Guru's mercy, we'll try to answer it. So we have a discussion like that. Hare Krishna. So anyone that wants to unmute themselves and share in this can do so now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisance to August Srila
Except my
Prabhupada.
God, Srila Prabhupada, too.
Very nice point, Srila Prabhupada says, as always, all his classes are really, really amazing and powerful. But one of my takeaways from the earlier part of his class, was when anybody joins Krishna consciousness, they become beautiful. That is so true. I mean, that is so true. I have seen and I've known many devotees before they join and after they join, and they become so beautiful. And I think sometimes we think, oh, is it the outer beauty? Actually, it's not so much the outer beauty, although that is there, but it's the inner beauty that permeates, I think, as the inner beauty, the inner consciousness that permeates outward, that exudes, as we say, So that was a very nice point that I was really able to relate to the point by Srila Prabhupada, that when devotees join Krishna consciousness, they become more beautiful because the beauty from inside, the consciousness exudes outside. So that was one of my takeaways, but I'll let other devotees share other takeaways before I go on. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, that was in the beginning. Just the Prabhupada said like that. And then he linked it later on to Krishna's presence and how things work so nicely. Damodar Prabhu, please unmute yourself and go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories
Accept
to
my glory, Srila Prabhupada.
all glories to the devotees on the call.
Jai.
Prabhupada made a nice point which I liked very much. And it always, like many times I think about it, or at least get reminded about it, that the blissfulness that we have in our life comes when by the remembrance of Krishna, when it's like darkness is the absence of light. So when we are unhappy, when we are in feeling distressed or feeling anxious, these all feelings are more like absence of Krishna in our thoughts, like that. So that's initially that was a kind of theme that Prabhupada started with. So I like that one very much.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Wonderful. So there were so many points that I hope devotees picked up. So if anyone else wants to join in, please unmute yourself and join in more. If not, then I'm sure you also said that you have some more points. You can
Yeah,
unmute yourself and
you know,
talk about
I
that.
was relishing how Sri Prabhupada was saying how the inhabitants of Vrindavan, their focus was on Krishna 24/7, what will prick his foot, if he walks on the grass, something on the ground. Like it was so wonderful to hear Sri Prabhupada, sharing the pastimes. And I think what I got from the pastimes is that sometimes we get so caught up in the pastimes and we forget to see the essence of it, the underlying meaning of it, because we get so caught up in the pastimes and, it almost becomes like a fairy tale, which is actually very dangerous. But I think as when we hear such pastimes from Sri Prabhupada, we have to ask, what is the lesson that Sri Prabhupada is trying to tell us? Not trying to, is teaching us. And I think when Sri Prabhupada was sharing the pastime of Krishna in Vrindavan and how focused the inhabitants of Vrindavan were and crying and, always thinking of him, always crying for him. That's the word he used, always crying. The gopis are crying for him. The gopals are crying for him. Mother Yashodananda when he left. So I was thinking, what is Prabhupada trying to tell us here? So what I got from it is the Vipralamba Seva, that we are serving in separation from Krishna and we should be hankering. We should come to the point. We should come to the level of hankering for service. Vipralamba Seva. Seva means service. Service and separation. So we should be hankering to serve the Lord, crying with tears in service of separation. So that was my takeaway from the pastimes that Srila Prabhupada shared. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, through service, Krishna says, Bhakti Mama Vijanati. Through devotional service, then I can be known. Krishna reveals himself to that. Yes. So I totally agree with you. We have to be hankering to do service. Then we'll understand Krishna. As a matter of fact, even our material life, many things will come together nicely. Some things that happen, sometimes challenges that come, we don't understand. But if you keep serving, things work out quite well in the end, which means you're on Krishna's time and Krishna's program, not our program. In that way, then we understand better. Any other points? Anyone wants to unmute themselves and share? These are all very wonderful that we heard so far. Hare Krishna. Anyone else want to share? Okay, so I'll share some of mine. Okay,
Another point that I really, really like, and I mean, of course, Srila Prabhupada always has a way of how to say things like perfectly at the perfect time. But when he said, seeing God in God's way, that really, really hit me home. Seeing God in God's way. I could not have thought about it. Of course, who am I? But Prabhupada just made it so strong. How to see God in God. And then he used the example of President Nixon at that time, because he was the president of US at that time. Like when we want to see Nixon, we just can't walk into his office. We have to go through several levels. So I was really, but just the way he put the sentence, seeing God in God's way, then we have to ask ourselves, what is God's way? And then start working on the steps of God's way to see God. So I was really appreciating that. Really, really powerful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, that also was one of my takeaways. Hit me very prominently, and it made so much sense also when they gave the example of President Nixon. You just can't go there, I want to see Nixon. And Nixon you go through it. No, you have to go through so many checks, so much an appointment, and then so many things you have to go through, and then before you finally ever get to see the president on a one-on-one basis. So yes, it is not so easy, and God is the supreme presiding controller of everything. So of course, in order to connect with God, it has to be according to the program set by the Lord, and this is how we get to connect and to, see the Lord. We are in the material world, so we're serving in separation, as you said earlier. But Srila Prabhupada has also glorified separation, Vipralamba. He talked about Sambhoga when Krishna is present and Vipralamba when he's absent. And the Vipralamba seva is actually more intense. So it's wonderful. Srila Prabhupada explaining these things. Any other takeaways? In the meantime, I can share some of the things that I took down as my takeaway. Srila Prabhupada says, first, with the way Kunti was expressing, her realizations around Krishna being with them and then Krishna leaving, what could happen. Krishna Prabhupada said, generally, everything becomes nice in an intimate relationship. When the state has good government, then the state looks nice because everybody's happy. A girl looks beautiful when she has a husband. As a matter of fact, from my own experience, we started a relationship, and we've seen, some of us have seen that, started a relationship, a love relationship, and it's going on. Initially, you see a change in the faces of both the man and the woman, and they could come in, comment to each other. Your face seems to be glowing. Yeah, because it's from the inside, as I said earlier. From the inside, you feel happy, and it shows on the outside. So everything is nice in an intimate relationship. Your Papa said a girl looks beautiful when she has a husband. So everything looks beautiful when Krishna is there. So Kunti Maharani is saying that the Pandava kingdom is beautiful when Krishna is there, but when he leaves, then it will not be beautiful. So that was the concern of Kunti Devi. That the devotees, Sri Prabhupada gave his own disciples as example. They're looking beautiful, better than before they became devotees. It's because Krishna is there in their lives. Actually, if you listen to some of the videos from Sri Prabhupada disciples, they were talking and praising Sri Prabhupada. So there was so much connection of love, and they expressed it in their own way. And you can see their faces just brighten, become so bright when they talk about Sri Prabhupada, because they were in love with him. He's the pure devotee of the Lord. So when Krishna is in our life, then we become happy. So it can happen anytime Krishna is invited. Sri Prabhupada gave the analogy that 0 has no value, but when we add 1 to the side of the 0, then it becomes 10, which is 10 times better than not having anything. So he also warned how the world is set up. And he said that everyone is killing in our daily lives, unknowingly, and we are liable to be punished. If we are cooking, the heat is because what we're using, the heat is killing the germs in the immediate area. When we walk, we step over ants and so on. And we just keep, I'm walking to my car. But by the time you get to the car, 10 or 20 insects have been stepped on by our shoes or barefoot and have already been killed. And those souls have been forced out of their bodies. So we have to pay for that. But he says, unless we remain Krishna conscious, we'll have to pay for our sins, whether we know it or not, unknowingly or knowingly. But when we keep Krishna in the center of our lives, then we don't have to pay for those sins. When we keep chanting, making Krishna as the center, then there will be no darkness. Another point too. And then he talked about Krishna leaving Vrindavan for Mathura. And that caused the Vrajavasis to think of Krishna and cry. So Krishna can be felt more acutely in separation with Palamba. And this is what we're in. Gopis could not forget Krishna at any time. And that's why they were exalted. Gopis were even concerned at the time that they were in the Sambhoga mode, that is, Krishna was around. And Krishna was walking barefoot in Vrindavan grounds. They were concerned that his soft feet, he would probably get hurt by walking barefooted like that. Mm. So Sambhoga is the meeting of Krishna, as Prabhupada explained, and Vipralamba is separation from Krishna. So those are the two different ways, and we are serving in separation. So then he related what an advanced person can remember. You remember Krishna even by looking at the Pacific Ocean. Krishna is so powerful that he has rules that even the big, mighty ocean has to obey. Like it doesn't allow the big ocean past a certain point. And as soon as people realize that, the devotees, disciples realized that, they really appreciated it. And they were, in the background, you could hear them respond to that because it is true, as big as the ocean is, and it can swallow practically anything in its sight, drown, kill. It does all of that for those, especially apart from the fish, of course, who live there in the sea. But still, there's a place we call the shore. Why? There's a shore because Krishna has said to this big ocean, you don't go past this point. This is the power of Krishna. You also talk about sunshine. In sunshine, we can see Krishna. Just by understanding that the sun is the eye of Krishna, and so is the moon. So it says in the Shastra, when we can see, when Krishna sees, then we also can see. And the sun comes, it's like, an analogy is like the eyes get open. The sun has come, the eyes get open. So Krishna is seeing. And that way, we also can see everything becomes bright. And the sun's motion is also according to Krishna's order. And he mentioned how the scientists have determined that if the sun moves slightly out of its designated orbit, it can either cause intense heat and things will be burned, or intense cold and things will be frozen. But according to Krishna's order, everything is moving the way it's supposed to. But the philosophers and scientists are trying to see God in their own way. But that's not possible. We have to see God according to God's way. And the way to do it is have to use our senses in service to Krishna. There are 10 senses, 5 working senses, and 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Those are listed in the Shastra. Then the mind is the 11th sense that controls these working and knowledge acquiring senses. Above the mind is the intelligence, and above the intelligence is the soul. So the scientists cannot understand the soul because they don't understand about the mind properly. So one has to go beyond the intellectual platform to be able to understand what is the soul or what is God. So of course, we do that by involving ourselves from our hearts in devotional service. This is the devotional attitude that's very, very, very important, the service attitude. And if we do that, service attitude is all for Krishna, then we'll be successful in our devotee life. Hare Krishna. Any final points before we close? Or questions, if you still have one? If not, then thank you very much for being present for this, and have a nice, wonderful rest of your week in Krishna consciousness. Panchakalpatarubhasya kripasundibhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you for coming. We've been enlightened by Srila Prabhupada. So
I would like to make an announcement quickly that tomorrow morning's class by His Holiness Chandramali Swami is at 8 o'clock, just for this week because he's in UK right now. So tomorrow morning will be His Holiness Chandramali Swami at 8 in the morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And tomorrow also, we want to make an announcement again about tomorrow evening.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. My mind is so swamped. Tomorrow is also Diwali, so the temple will have a Diwali program at 6 o'clock. So please do come join us. We will have kirtan, the bhajans, we'll have the lamp offering, We are going to be decorating the altar with a lot of lights, a lot of diyas. There'll be, after the program, we will have sparklers. So, and there'll be a short discourse on the glories of Diwali. So please do join us tomorrow. Spread the word around. Share with your friends, neighbors, family, everybody. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock at the temple. And the temple will also be open all day tomorrow for Diwali. So please do come and take darshan of the deities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhischa kripa sindhivya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. And have
Hare
a
Krishna.
wonderful day. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Jai.